What are the sustainable solutions to ensure that we can continue to have an industry that provides social good, that creates employment, and that is a big contributor to the South African fiscus?
Our job is to make sure that we use plastics in a responsible manner. And with that, we will take this industry and go forward.
We need a systemic approach to create a system that works in practice, without loss of economic value and no plastic waste and pollution.
It's a model of the consequences of products or services on our health, on the health of ecosystems, and the availability of resources over their entire value chain. Regardless of the material of the reusable cup, what really matters is how that cup is washed in its use phase. So if it's washed efficiently in a modern dishwasher, then the reusable is preferred. But if it's inefficiently washed by hand in hot water, then the single-use option is preferred.
Significant quantities of post-consumer waste will be chemically recycled by 2030, but alternative methods will still be needed alongside chemical recycling.
Of course, we work to produce the human talent for this green economy and the circular economy. But we're also doing cutting-edge research, hopefully, that is going to be adopted by players in the industry.
So it's our mandate to act and to lead tangible change and to communicate it. It should really be called the war on plastic pollution. We should change that narrative because it's about over-packaging, it's about littering, pollution, dumping, a lack of recycling. And then we need to extol the solutions, which are to reduce, reuse, repurpose, recycle.
So we cannot just look for the environmental aspect from the packaging, we also need to look on the handling for the consumers.
There's a lot of hype around refilleries, reuse, returnables. I think the core of these models are decades, if not centuries old. The good example of this is the milkman model. You got your product delivered to your home, you consume the product, it was delivered in a sustainable, reusable packaging format, and it was replenished once the product was consumed, and the loop is closed.
We need to question in the traditional way of which we've addressed these types of problems. And often those very reasons are the stumbling blocks to us making a meaningful impact in the way in which we need to.
This isn't how do we tweak a current system and how do we tweak our current products and materials, but it's actually a reassessment in terms of the materials we've put to market, and can we present it in a way which is far more resource efficient so that we are addressing the economic, social and environmental imperatives that we currently see are driving us towards a circular economy.
Essentially what you're doing by reusing the material or the tubs for some other purpose is keeping them out of the waste stream. You're applying them into some shape or form that keeps them in a useful life for a much longer period of time.
Consumers want to know when you make a change, why you've made a change. And I think it's going to be the same with when the extended producer responsibility legislation becomes mandatory. There are some things that may end up costing a little bit more.
Now with reclaimers who are doing it on a daily basis, we not only collecting, we are sorting materials, we are storing materials with no resources, with no payment of services provided.
We have a draft plastic master plan, and one of the themes identified within the plan itself is sustainability. I think we all in agreement that the transition from fossil fuel based to renewable, it's quite key. It's something that will take us forward.
Government has set now legal targets for collection and recycling. And I think this is an important first step to increasing volumes of clean material. It's somewhat unfortunate that we've lost nearly 5 years in terms of the implementation of mandatory EPR in South Africa, but I'm really hoping that we can now fast track the implementation of EPR going forward.
If it was easy, it would have been done already. That's why we're sitting here.
If it was easy, we would not talk about this. We've got work to do.
So we hope that you will join us in this adventure in developing the future and creating the value that we need.